I am going to show you guys a trick. I made myself a note on here a while ago. Before I riveted the skin on, I wanted to add the wire to my fuel sender. It's in permanent marker, and MEK will take this off, but if you can tell, I've kind of scrubbed it a little bit with MEK, and it's hard to remove. Now here's the magic trick. If you take a regular pen from a whiteboard and just go over it like this, take a paper towel, and it wipes right off. Isn't that cool? I saw this on a YouTube video or a video somewhere, and I always wondered if it would actually work. And so I decided to try it. Look at that. No scrubbing or anything. Takes it right off. All right, guys, now that that amazing magic show is over, let's get started with this video. Now, I haven't put out a video for a while because I really haven't done a whole lot in the hangar. Number one, it's been cold. Number two, I just haven't felt like doing anything. And number three, I haven't felt like making a video. So I haven't put any videos out. But it is starting to get warm now, so I figured I should probably get out to the hangar and get back to work. Now, one of the things I did get done was I've riveted on this panel that goes over the fuel tank on the Super Duty wing. I put some fuel in the tank, I let it sit for a while, there was no leaks, so it was time to finish this up. This skin is riveted on. There's my cover for the fuel sender. And the two things I can do next are this skin here I can start working on, and then also I can start working on the wingtips. Now I finally opened up the crate here with my new wing skin. So it is about time that I get this wing finished up. All right, I wanted to show you a picture here that somebody sent me because you guys might remember years ago I built an RV7. Now, I didn't finish that airplane. I built it basically up to what would probably be the quick build stage. Like the tail was all done, the wings were all done. Mine is like the wing tips. And the fuselage was mostly done. And then I sold it because I bought my Cherokee, and then I wound up getting the Cruiser and everything else, and I just didn't want that airplane anymore. But the guy that bought it from me finished it and sent me this picture. So this is pretty cool. This is the RV7 that I started, and obviously this gentleman finished up. But it looks pretty nice here, so I can't wait to go see my RV7 again, maybe at Oshkosh this year. All right, one of the things I've been working on in the hangar is getting the Cruiser behind me ready for its annual condition inspection. It's due at the end of this month, so I kind of need to get that done. In conjunction with the condition inspection, I like to take this time to really get the airplane clean. I like to keep this airplane looking as brand new as I can for as long as I can. And that includes taking things apart, polishing, and cleaning. And I'm starting with the wheel pants. Each year I like to take the wheel pants off just for a really good inspection of the brakes and the wheel pant mounts. And it gives me a good chance to get these wheel pants really nice and cleaned and shined up. And with the wheel pants removed, I can clean these brake calipers, the wheels, the wheel pant mounts, and then also the landing gear you can see gets really dirty and dull after a while. After I've got it nice and cleaned up, this is what the brake caliper looks like. It looks good. I've polished the landing gear and the brake tube on the back. And this is what the inside looks like. It's just everything just looks really nice and new now. After it's done, it's time to put the wheel pants back on. And you'll see in just a second, I also repolished the washer and the screws that hold the wheel pants to the mount. Speaking of polishing, I like to polish all of the aluminum parts on the airplane and get them nice and shiny. So on the pitot tube here, I'm using the Flitz and just cleaning that and getting it real shiny and nice and brand new looking again. These little aluminum screws are from an access cover I have on the bottom of the wing. And because these screws are aluminum, they do dull out after a while, which looks bad. So I just like to shine them up with some Flitz. It only takes a minute to do, and when they're done, it's a really big difference. They really look nice and shiny. With that cover off, I can expect the fuel lines under the wing, Once that's done, I can put the cover back on with my nice new shiny screws. Moving to the back of the airplane, I'm polishing the rudder control horn and the rudder stops. They are bare aluminum, and I've talked about this before. I left them bare aluminum because I didn't want the paint to chip off every time I moved the rudder to full travel. Plus they look nice, just bare aluminum and shined up. So you can see how good they look after you polish them. It only takes, again, a minute to do, but it keeps the airplane looking new and keeps parts looking nice and shiny. I've removed this rear access cover to inspect the back side of the airplane. And again, I polished these little aluminum screws. And so once the inspection was done back here, looking for any corrosion or rat's nest or anything like that, I could put the cover back on with a nice shiny screws, and look how good it all looks. Well, yesterday I took a break from cleaning the airplane, and me and Brian and Gordon flew up to Owasso for breakfast. On the way back here, after I landed and was taxiing, I heard a little bit of rattling coming up from the engine compartment. And I could tell it wasn't coming from in the engine, it was something in the compartment. And I figured it was one of two things. Either the baffling has come loose and is rattling around, or the muffler, not the muffler, but the exhaust pipe coming from the muffler, one of the springs might have broke on there and that was loose. So when I got back to the hangar, I looked at the baffling in both intakes, and that all looks pretty secure. And then I went to the bottom of the airplane, and something's not right there. Well, as part of the annual condition inspection, I was just about to take the cowling off anyway to inspect everything up in the engine compartment. So let's get this thing taken apart and see what the problem is. I like this small size container from GripMat because I can organize all the screws that I take out of the cowling. These are the quarter turn fasteners that go up along here, which, by the way, I absolutely hate and I would never recommend anybody use. These are all the screws that go on the left and right side, and these two here are a little bit longer than those, and those are the ones that go up front right there. If you guys don't know, if you use the discount code KITPLANE10 on your first order with GripMat, you save 10%. Well, all of the baffling looks good. It's nice and secure. And I really don't see any damage to the springs on the exhaust. There's one right here and there's one on the other side that I can feel is intact. But you can, I don't know if you can tell, it does wiggle. Something's loose. So I don't know if maybe the weld broke on the muffler or what the issue is. But either way, I have to remove this bottom cowling, and it'll be a lot easier to inspect once that's off the airplane. Well, here is the problem. You can see that this part has cracked almost all the way around. It's cracking right there, and all three of these welds have broke on the muffler there. So I was going to get this re-welded, but I decided just to buy a different muffler. I talked to Robert Helms at UL Power, and this isn't the first issue with this happening, and apparently they have changed the design of this. So I just ordered a new muffler, so hopefully that gets here pretty soon. Now my buddy Brian, who you've seen with the Glasair, has a prop balancer. So once I get the new muffler installed, before I button this all up, I'm gonna see if I can sucker him into coming over and bolting his equipment on, and I'm gonna try to balance the prop. Now when I fly this airplane, it seems pretty smooth, but you never know. Maybe balancing the prop will make it even so much smoother than it is now. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised, but I don't know if maybe there's too much vibration at a certain frequency or RPM or something, and that's why that muffler cracked. I do know on some of my videos with the camera on the wing strut, you can see the exhaust pipe moving a little bit. I just don't know if there's anything you can do about that. It's a foot of exhaust pipe that's not supported in any way. So I don't know, I'm gonna try to balance a prop and see if that cuts down on vibration a little bit and maybe makes this muffler last a little bit longer than 112 hours. All right, the last thing I'll talk about before I go is the back end of the Super Duty. Now, on and off over the last month or so, I've been working on getting it ready for the fiberglass fairings. You can see this side is taped off. All I have to do is tape off the other side, and then it's ready for the fiberglass. So hopefully I'll have this done in the next few days or next week or so, and then I can take all this apart because all that will be done and ready for paint. All right, everybody, thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your weekend to watch the video. I hope you enjoyed it. More videos should be coming again on a more regular basis now. Like I said, the last couple months have just been cold and I have just not felt like being out here. So we got some beautiful summer weather now and it's time to get busy on this airplane.